Okay, guys. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you guys are tuning in from, or whatever time of day it is. Welcome, welcome. Um, so the last tutorial video that I did, there were some people that I think really liked it and really got some value out of the video. It's one of the feedback things that I got on it was this guy really liked it because it was a tutorial that wasn't necessarily geared for somebody who is like a super good player already. So if you go to, if you look at some of the other, I think, Supreme Commander, either YouTubers, streamers, a lot of them are really good players, like 1400, 1500, 1600 on the ladder. And a lot of their breakdowns and coaching and reviews will be built around that particular will be built around like making somebody like me, who is like a 700 rated player, or I'm bouncing between like 650 and 750, into like 1,000 rated player. And I think the huge delta in this game is really in games like this, where matchmaking unfortunately matches somebody who's like -6, like, so haven't broken 0 yet, up against somebody like me who's 700. That's a much bigger delta than I think somebody who's 700 going up against somebody who's 1400. Is a 1400 going to take me apart? Yes, but I will be able to kill units and won't get overwhelmed, hopefully, within the first like 10 minutes of the game. So that being said, what I want to do is look at this, and I picked this game specifically because this guy did, I think, a lot of the right things. After looking at his build after the game, I haven't watched the game all the way through, but I think he did a lot of the right things, just looking at the way his base was set up at the end of it. And so what I want to do is then look at what it's Willy time here, and I'm sorry for picking on you, bud, but I think that you had the right idea. There was just something holding you back, and one of the things that I want to do is try and figure out what that was, because it might be holding other people back that are negative rated players. If you guys are return viewers to the channel, you guys know that I have a really big soft spot in my heart for people that are negatively rated, because I was at one point like -300, and I remember whenever I broke 0, that was just like, oh, the best feeling ever to not be like negative anymore. So I want to try and help out where I can, as far as turning somebody who is maybe brand new to the game into somebody who has a good build order right off the bat. So first thing we want to talk about here, let me lock my cursor. First thing I want to talk about here is using this engineer to build a power, and also moving the commander. So if you select your commander, let me see if I can actually do this appropriately. Is there a way to do this as an observer? There's got to be a way that you can do this as an observer, right? All right. Okay, never mind. Forget it. Whenever you, either your commander or your engineer, you have a build radius, which is like the range that a unit can build. The commander and engineers won't always use that radius though, so a lot of times they will, like this guy did, just literally walk right next to it. Instead though, his commander dropped right here. If he had moved his commander like slightly this way, he would have been able to distance build this max without his commander walking. So just a little time saving technique, but those little time saving things, especially on the start whenever you're trying to get your initial mass up, will help you guys out quite a bit. Oh, okay, I had to have the game running. So if I click on his commander, you see this little yellow circle. Whenever you're in the middle here, especially on this map, because it's a little bit older map, you do have to move like a little bit. But if you can kind of guesstimate where this yellow circle is, that can help save you a lot of time. So next thing I think we need to point out here is the fact that he's got engineer assisting this commander on power. I don't think that you need to have this engineer here assisting on power. It would have been better to have this engineer go and grab these other 2 mexes. Because with 4 power generators and only 1 factory, you'll be fine from a power standpoint, especially if you have your commander building additional T1 power. Whoops. And see, so this was what got him here, was he's now kind of behind the 8 ball. So he's queuing up additional factories, like he's doing a great job there. But this was what got him behind the 8 ball, was building these power generators before you've capped you know, probably at least 2 or 3 mexes. You do want to build early power, because power locking, I mean, if you guys are fans of the channel, power locking is something I do like all the time. But he literally overbuilt power here, and you can see him queuing up more. So this isn't even like he overbuilt by, you know, 1 or 2. And that's what I think the pros get picky on. It's like, oh, I mean, you're floating like 40 power. You should have balanced a little better. Like, okay, like really floating 40 power. Okay. But he has a lot of these queued up, a lot of power generators, which is good. But he is not expanded out to these peripheral mexes. He's running literally on his initial mexes, which is I think a big mistake. Something that he's doing awesome though for somebody who is probably potentially as new to the game as he is reclaiming. Like, that is amazing that he has engineers running reclaim. The only change I would make is maybe manually reclaim these rocks, because these rocks are a lot of mass. Like, if you look, there's 113 mass here. That's an entire mass extractor. Almost 2 entire mass extractors there, just within that rock. So instead of doing like attack move commands, maybe have a manual reclaim here and then attack move. That way you can grab like the really important stuff and then pick up the rest of the trees later. So and this is, you know, again, kind of a symptom of that overbuilding power early. Is your engineers are just a little too slow to expand out to these mexes, because he built a lot of these P-gens before these mexes were done, so he was bottlenecked super hard on the mass perspective. So he's got more P-gens queued up. So you don't need this many power generators. You don't need to do a ring around every single factory. Like, it looks cool, I think, for aesthetics, and yeah, you definitely won't be power locking, but I don't think you need this much built up around your factories. So going back, rebuilding this, it does look like he is manufacturing military units now, which is good. So he's got some Mantis coming out. Mantis coming out, lots of engineers. He's got an air factory. I can't remember what he does with the air factory, if he builds some bombers or... This guy's reclaimed this tree like 4 times. Oh, there's like a bunch of little bushes there. Okay. Okay, so he goes for bombers. So a little late on, I think, a bomber. Just because at 5 minutes your opponent is going to have anti-air of some sort. Most likely within their build order. I almost always queue up anti-air just with Sky Slammers, just because they're cheap, and it's one of those things where I would rather invest the mass and not forget about it than just get absolutely destroyed by Jesters or Zeus or whatever. I can't remember. Scorchers, I think, are the UEF T1 bombers. Alright, so made a little push with some Mantis. So I haven't really talked about like my game strategy, but on this map I like to just expand to both sides if possible, and then if I hold both, great, I've won the game. If not, then it becomes a little bit harder. But he's really unable to expand, right? Because, and this all goes back to, I don't want to keep like beating this dead horse, but overbuilding this power at the beginning really crippled this guy. As far as being able to actually set up good manufacturing. And I might just grab a thumbnail here. You guys don't mind if I grab a thumbnail, right? Just grab our thumbnail right there. Yeah. Ooh, those factories look cool from that angle, let me tell you. So got some good units, got radar up. I think I was gonna build radar there eventually. But he's getting some, so he's got an army, he's got some good manufacturing set up, and he's doing like an amazing job reclaiming. Like, I think he's doing a better job than I am reclaiming, which is awesome. Yeah, I mean, he's even reclaiming off the plateau. Yeah, I mean, well done. Well done, dude. You're doing a great job on the reclaim side. Just need to sharpen up that initial build order, and you'll be I think, killing it in the later, you'll be killing it from a rating perspective because you just mass stalled so hard at the beginning. And it might just be he's new to this map, didn't really know what he was doing on the map. So using Calm to reclaim, probably not great. Probably want to help build this stuff. I'm not really sure what he's doing or how his eco is. Okay, so he's still mass stalling like super hard. So he's only running on 13 mass per tick. So he's probably reclaiming to try and get himself out of that hole. Is he upgrading a mass extractor? Yeah. Okay, so he's also upgrading this mass extractor. So I mean, in this situation, where like you've lost this much map control, I think one of my recommendations would literally be to go gun comm and try and set up a couple of point defenses at some key areas. That way you can make your units last and you force your opponent to grind units against point defenses, which are, and then because this guy is so good at grabbing reclaim, if I like lose this entire army trying to grind it against the point defense or a gun comm, he would then be able to swoop in, reclaim a bunch of that stuff, and then use that reclaim to fuel these mechs upgrades, which would be so helpful to him. But as it is, he has an unupgraded comm, so not going to be as much help. And he's got the energy to upgrade this kind of stuff. Like, he's got plenty of B-gens. So I think he definitely could have gone for gun comm, or at the very least point defenses, and then used it to grab reclaim. Because I remember one game, and I think it's back in my channel. I can't remember the exact title. I think it was like Cyber and Turtle or something like that, where I did basically that. I didn't win the game, but you were definitely able to make the game last a lot longer if you're doing that. Just by setting up point defenses and then using reclaim. Like I used reclaim to like fuel T3 max upgrades and build a monkey board. It was basically the only thing I could do. So anyway, it's Willy time. I think you're about to die, bud. He's so close though to getting this right and breaking out of this like perpetual downward spiral that sometimes being a negatively rater can be. And so I hope that this helps. Either it's Willy time if you end up watching this. Sorry for picking on you, bud. You just had a great example because whenever I looked at your build after the game, I was like, this guy knows what he's doing. Like, I saw like the reclaim and the way that you had your factories lined up with power generators and stuff like that. Like, you knew what you were doing. You had watched a build guide, and so what I wanted to do is figure out what actually went wrong in your build order, and it was building these initial 8 power generators before you've capped these 4 mass extractors. That was your bottleneck, and that really kept you held you back. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys got something out of this video. I'm gonna be doing more of these. Both these and tutorials like the last one where I talk about things that I learned. I actually got to record one of those right after this because I made some big mistakes in a game last night. But if you guys like what you see, give the video a like. I really appreciate it. Give the video a comment. I really like hearing from you guys. Makes my day, honestly. So I will catch you guys in the next one. Until then, peace.